Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is string buffer mutable or immutable in Java? The answer is string buffer in Java is mutable. What about string? String class in Java is immutable, whereas string buffer is mutable. What does it mean? You see, let me explain this stuff first. So I'll compare string class with string buffer. Okay, we have two things in Java to handle the strings. One is string class, other side we have string buffer class. Okay, so I will say that string is the objects that you create using string class are immutable. Once created, you cannot change any values that are stored in that object memories. Whereas string buffer is mutable. Okay, that means the objects that are created with the help of string buffer, we can modify them. Okay, we can update this value in the same object. We don't have to create a new object. Okay, so what happens here, I'll tell you with practical demonstration. If I create a new class, I'll just randomly name this class as class 28, let's say, with main method, finish. Inside the main method, if I create a string class like this, string str is equal to new string of, okay, if I create an object for the string class, and here, if I add my name, let's say Arun, okay, so what happens when I add my name here into this? So what happens in the computer memory is, in the computer memory, let's say this is a computer memory. Let's assume this is a computer memory. In the computer memory, some memory will be allocated to this object that is created for the string class. Okay. For a particular object of the string class, memory will be allocated. Okay. And to that object, str is referring. I can also name this as str1, let's say. Okay. str1 is referring. Here I'll say str1 is the object reference, which is referring to this memory location or memory that is reserved for this particular string object. Okay. In that object memory of the string class, this Arun name is being stored. Okay. Arun name is being stored here. Fine. Arun name is being stored here. Now, if I try to do some operation like this, str1 dot, if I say str.1 dot concat, and double quotes, if I give space to re or whatever it is, or if I say str1 is equal to, if I say Varun, let's say, okay, str1 is equal to Varun, if I say, what will happen in this case? In this case, if I print that system.out.println str1, if I print it out, okay, what will be printed? Varun will be printed. It looks like the value of this str1 is getting updated. Okay, externally it feels like when you see this program, initially the value Arun is assigned to str1, and we are updating the value of str1 with, that is Arun value with Varun. So when I print str1, in the output, you see Varun got printed. Okay, in the output, you see Varun is getting printed. Instead of Arun, Varun is getting printed. That's fine. Okay, now what? So externally, it feels like strings are mutable. They can be updated. You see, we can update the strings, right? Here it feels like we are updating the strings. When you see the output and all, the string value is getting updated. But internally, what is happening is, the moment you write this next step, str1 is equal to Varun, here the original object memory, okay, original memory that is reserved for this object will not be touched. The value will not be updated in the memory that is reserved for the object one, and instead and another memory will be reserved, okay, for the a new object will be created. Every time you update the value of this string class, okay, a new object will be created in the computer memory, and this str1 will now refer to the latest memory location, which is storing the updated value, that is Varun. Okay, here original Arun is not getting updated with Varun. Rather, a new object is getting created to store Varun, and str1 is pointing to that new object where Varun is there instead of Arun. That's why programmatically we see that externally we see that the value of string is getting updated from Arun to Varun, but internally if you observe, it's not really updatable. Okay, the original Arun is not getting updated to Varun. This memory exists, this object exists, this object exists. Okay, every time you update the value of the string, it keeps, you know, it keeps creating a new object. Okay, so what about string buffer? String buffer is not like that, guys. Okay, so I'll explain about string buffer now. Just see here a second. I'll just comment this out. If I create a string buffer here, string buffer SB is equal to new string buffer, new string buffer. Okay, put a semicolon. Put double quotes and give Varun here. Now SB equal to Varun. If I say, what's happening? It's not allowing, right? So I cannot do this kind of assignment operator here, right? SB dot replace, okay, or SB dot we have append also, or we have any other methods. Replace, let's say 0, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Position I'll give, and here I'll give the value. Let's say 1. What will happen? Let's see. And if I print it out, system.out.println, SB if I say, and run the code. So what will be printed in the output? Instead of Arun, when I print SB, the SB value, which is Arun, got updated by Varun. But here what's happening is, okay, it's updating programmatically, but internally what's happening? The same similar program, if I have to write with string buffer, I have to write like this, guys. I cannot say SB is equal to Varun here. I have to say SB dot replace of this index values and all. One of the method I have to use. But what's happening is Arun value is getting updated with Varun. But in this case, what's happening is, in the computer memory, initially, when you create an object for the string buffer, okay, when you create an object for string buffer, here some memory is getting reserved for that particular object to which this SB is referring. SB object reference is referring to this, right? In that, initially, the value Arun was stored. Okay, Arun was stored. Now, the moment you say SB dot replace some code like Varun. So here Arun got updated with Varun in the same object. Okay, the same in the same memory that is reserved for the first object itself, the value got replaced with Varun. But here in this case, for every time you update something, programmatically it seems like they are getting updated, but internally the values, for every updated value, a new object is getting created. But here in the same object, the updations are being done. That's why string buffer is mutable, whereas string is immutable. So hope guys, with practical demonstration, you got an idea about string buffer, whether it is mutable or immutable. It is mutable, updatable. That means when you create an object for string buffer, some memory will be reserved, in that some value will be stored. And when you try to update the value in that particular memory, the same memory location only, or in the first memory that is allocated to the object only, the value will be updated internally and externally also. Okay, externally it looks like updated, and internally also it's updating same. But string is immutable because externally it feels like it's getting updated, but internally you see that for every update, a new object is getting created without updating the original value. Okay, here original value is getting updated in the object memory of this computer memory. Okay, that's why string buffer is mutable, strings are immutable. So with this practical demonstration and explanation, hope you got the answer for this question. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye.